Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. Welcome to the first annual UW-Tacoma Celebration of Community and LatinX Leadership. My name is Ana Yelena. I'm an associate professor at UW-Tacoma's School of Urban Studies and a proud Latina resident of Tacoma. On behalf of the staff, alumni, students, community members, and faculty that made the organizing committee, I have the honor of hosting our first ever Celebrando Comunidad LatinX Celebration Awards. Si desea ver esta transmisión en español, en la parte inferior de su pantalla estamos mostrando el vínculo a seguir. El vínculo es tacoma.uw.edu/celebrando. Repito, tacoma.uw.edu/celebrando. Ya que esté ahí, en la pestaña que dice español, haga clic en el link La transmisión en vivo. We are looking forward to sharing a festive evening of storytelling, celebration, and honoring the beautiful diversity and meaningful contributions of Latinx communities to the place we call home. Before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge that we are all celebrating tonight on the unceded homelands of Indigenous nations. The UW-Tacoma campus is located on the homelands of the Puyallup Nation, and we are grateful to learn and work on the lands that the Puyallup people have cared for since time immemorial. We acknowledge the painful history of forced removal and dispossession and invite everyone listening to take personal responsibility for continuing the ongoing process of being in good relationship and seeking justice with Indigenous communities. We're excited to start tonight with a welcome from UW-Tacoma's new Chancellor, Dr. Sheila Edwards-Lang. Dr. Edwards-Lang, who has a background in equity and inclusion, has been with the campus for just a few weeks, but immediately expressed strong support for this program and a desire to continue the work that will ensure all members of Latinx communities feel welcomed and supported at UW-Tacoma.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Sheila Edwards-Lang, and I'm the Chancellor of the University of Washington, Tacoma. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the first ever Celebrando Comunidad, the LatinX Celebration and Awards. We'd hoped to be able to host this event in person, but made the decision to bring it to you virtually out of an abundance of caution. That is the world we live in today. At UW-Tacoma, we believe in each other and in creating spaces for people to be heard. So it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise when I say that this event is a collaboration between students, faculty, staff, alumni, and the broader community. They saw a need and they set out to fill it. This celebration is long overdue, and while it might be the first of its kind on our campus, it will not be the last. I really want to thank the team that helped make this possible, and a special shout out to Amanda Figueroa, Senior Director for Student Transition Programs, for leading the planning committee. I also want to thank the sponsors who've made tonight's events possible, and a special recognition to our Urban Studies alumni, Rafael Salcedo, for his time and talent in fundraising for this event. Latinx communities have a long and rich history, both in the US and here in our Puget Sound region. People with Hispanic and Latinx heritage have helped shape the Pacific Northwest for centuries, from Mexican and Spanish cartographers to UW student-led activism that led to improved farm worker rights, to the many Puerto Rican members of our military who call the South Sound home. Our community is richer and stronger because of their diverse cultures and positive contributions to the place we all call home. These are just a couple of examples, and I mention them because it's important to recognize the value of diversity to our national and our local story. The spirit of activism and involvement is alive and well here at UW-T. Our Latinx students, faculty, and staff are dedicated to helping UW-Tacoma live up to its mission of being an access-driven university, one that is committed to both equity and inclusion. We've made strides in this direction, but we have lots more work to do. We are proud now to have a Spanish language and cultures major and minor as one way to share the importance of the Latin American culture in our community. We're also excited to begin offering a Latino studies minor this fall. This evening, we're going to hear some powerful stories from our award recipients and learn about the positive impacts they have had on our community. Tonight's awardees are relentless, resilient leaders of all ages and occupations. They are breaking down barriers and building foundations. They're making history of the kind that will be remembered and celebrated for years to come. Thank you and congratulations to each of our honorees.
Dr. Edwards Lang, thank you for the warm welcome. Recuerde, si desea ver esta transmisión en español,
I'm
en
Mayor
el
Victoria
interior de
Wood.
su pantalla estamos mostrando el vínculo a seguir. El vínculo es tacomauw.edu/celebrando. Repito, tacoma.uw.edu/celebrando. Ya que esté ahí en la pestaña que dice español, haga clic en el link La transmisión en vivo. If you're setting this up for someone else, if you'd like to watch this broadcast in Spanish, visit tacoma.uw.edu/celebrando and click on the live stream link in the tab labeled Español. We are so pleased by the outpouring of community support we received for this virtual event. To uplift the positive contributions and strengths of the LatinX communities, that the communities bring to our home in the South Sound. UW Tacoma Strategic Initiative funds made this inaugural effort possible, and several organizations came alongside UW Tacoma to grow the reach and impact of this celebration. Please join me in thanking a leadership sponsor, GISA Credit Union. Our friends at GISA Credit Union wanted us to share that they're proud to be sponsors of tonight's event, especially during Hispanic Heritage Month. They send their congratulations to all awardees and nominees, and their gratitude for all of the Latinx leaders in our community. We are also grateful to the City of Tacoma for joining as a leadership sponsor, and they wanted to share this message with event attendees.
Hello, I'm Mayor Victoria Woodards, and it is exciting to be a part of this event. I want to first thank the University of Washington Tacoma staff, faculty, students, and alumni for making this event, UWT's inaugural celebration of Latinx communities, a reality. I also want to thank the city's Commission on Immigrant and Refugee Affairs for connecting the City of Tacoma with an opportunity to sponsor this annual event. And finally, I want to thank you for being here to celebrate with us. No matter who you are or where you come from, visibility is extremely important. And tonight, we get to see and hear about the award-winning contributions of Latinx individuals from our community here in the South Sound, as well as individuals or organizations who directly and positively impact South Sound Latinx communities. In addition to those receiving awards tonight, as your mayor, I believe everyone adds value, especially in the discussions we have as a community. If we want to hear the wisdom and insight each person brings, we must first ensure that the spaces in which those conversations take place are welcoming. That is why the City of Tacoma is on track to adopt our first ever language access plan this fall, co-created with the Commission on Immigrant and Refugee Affairs and UWT, and that happened through a Designing Language Access group. Language access is an issue where communities across the nation have traditionally fallen short. With our local community partners, we have been working to develop a language access guidebook that can be used by the city, other local partners, and across the nation to begin breaking down those barriers. As a part of the work this year, we had our very first State of the City address hosted in multiple languages. We are also a part of this collaborative partnership working to go beyond language access to further align our community engagement efforts with partners like Metro Parks, the Tacoma Pierce County Health Department, Pierce County Conservation District, and more partners to create consistent and reliable channels for community members to engage with all of our agencies. As we work to transform our city into an anti-racist Tacoma, there will be more work yet to do, and I hope your voice will be a part of that process. I want to thank you again to everyone who made tonight's event possible, and congratulations to this evening's winners for all you do to make the South Puget Sound a stronger community. Enjoy the evening and congratulations.
We'd also like to thank our Pride sponsor, Puget Sound Energy. And finally, we're grateful to all of the other community organizations who supported tonight's event. The idea for an annual celebration of Latinx communities and leadership officially started in October of 2020 with emails between UW-Tacoma staff, faculty, and students, but its roots go back to a familiar tradition of community building around food. Before the pandemic, Latinx members of the UW-Tacoma campus came together through informal potlucks, sharing stories, laughter, and fellowship. In a year of being socially distanced during remote operations, the idea of coming together to host a party with music and food and stories of amazing local leaders was a bright light in a dark time. A dedicated group of UW-Tacoma students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members have been planning this event, and we've had multiple versions of what tonight would look like as we watch the pandemic unfold. Out of an abundance of caution and care, we decided to host tonight's program online, but we hope you are with people that you love, and we look forward to being in person at next year's celebration. Our program highlights local Latinos leading and making positive change, and puts the power of telling stories about Latinos back in the hands of our communities. We've all struggled this past year, faced loss and hardship, and grappled with a new normal. But in this time of in-betweenness, loss, and struggle, we relied on the creativity and resilience of our ancestors. We utilized our ability to make joy amid sorrow, and found new ways to connect with our families and friends. We hope tonight's stories of leadership inspired you with a renewed sense of hope and optimism for our future. We are excited to share the wisdom of local leaders and celebrate the many ways that Latinx communities make the sound a richer, more vibrant place to work, live, and learn. And since this is the first year of what we will nurture to be an annual tradition, we invite you to share your feedback and thoughts with us about tonight's program. Please scan the QR code or follow the link that we've placed on the bottom of the screen, tinyurl.com/2021 Celebrando, and submit your responses before Tuesday, October 12th. This way, you'll be entered into a raffle for a $50 gift card. Let's get started. Our first awardee has impacted generations of learners as the founder and director of Proyecto Mole. We are pleased to honor Melody Rodriguez with the Youth Impact Award. As the founder and director of Proyecto Mole, she's helped inspire, prepare, and mobilize Latino youth as leaders in their communities throughout Pierce County. As noted when she won a national award for excellence in mentoring this year, she has spent the last 27 years supporting youth in Tacoma to realize their potential and see that they are a vital part of the community. Her belief in mentoring, keeping it real, having high expectations, and building lasting relationships provide the foundation for her work. The students she has mentored have come back to the community and are now leading as the next generation of change makers. Please join me in honoring the contributions of Melody Rodriguez and learning more about her story.
Hi, my name is Melody Rodriguez, and I am the director of Proyecto Mole, a Latino student support program in Tacoma that has been in existence since 2007. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to UWT and the planning committee of the Celebrando Comunidad Awards for selecting me as one of this year's award recipients. When I first heard about the award, the first thing that came to mind is I'm getting an award because of longevity and the 28 years that I have been doing the work that I do. Who would have thought that an internship at Central Latino in my final quarter of undergrad would have led me to today? Although I am the daughter of a Puerto Rican father and a Filipino mother, working at Central Latino provided me with the foundation to explore my own Latino identity and discover that there was room in the community for me, a Flipper-Rican with school-learned Spanish and a horrible accent. There was room for me to belong and have impact. When I first started out in this work, there was a group of the old timers, I would call them, Dr. Biblars, Jose Palmas, Zenobio Macias, Gloria Morehouse, Ana Maria Garcia. And I apologize to those of them who are still around for calling them old timers, but when you were 22, that's what it felt like. I was always the youngest person in the room during their meetings. But these were the people that I learned from. These were the people who were a part of different organizations. They were part of HISPAC, CHAPS, they're part of the Commission of Hispanic Affairs, advocating for Latinos in Pierce County. But what I couldn't help but notice is that as they were making things happen, there were very few young people at the table. I realized that even though we're greater in numbers now, and we are more visible, like just out in the stores, and you hear Spanish spoken in different places in the community, that we are not visible in the places that count. We are not visible in leadership of our community, like at the city, the state. We are not visible as teachers, as admin in schools. We are not visible as physicians. It's very rare that you see a Latino in those spaces. I feel called to the fact that, where I can improve upon the work of the people before me is that thinking about sustainability, thinking about succession, we need to be investing in these young people around us and cultivating them so that they can be that visibility. What point is it to be great in numbers if we don't utilize our numbers to advance our community? And so I think that all of us, regardless if you work in the community, regardless if you're working at a warehouse, working, at a store, working in a school, all of us have a responsibility to think about what are we doing to advance the whole community, not just ourselves, not just our family, but what are we doing to set it up so that the ones who follow after us are in a better spot. I want my niece and nephew, their kids, I want them to be in school and be in places and see people who look like them, who are making decisions, who are like taking care of business. I don't want them to be like, oh, I wish. It's like, it's not about I wish, it's like I can, because there's someone who did it before me. Thank you.
Congratulations, Melody, and thank you for all that you've done and continue to do to positively impact our communities, in particular, Latinx youth, and nurturing the next generation of leaders. The next award is the LatinX Social Justice Award, sponsored by the City of Tacoma. It celebrates an individual who has worked tirelessly in the spirit of justice, contributing meaningfully to causes that impact Latinx communities and other communities of color. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Diana Parra has educated and advocated for refugees, immigrants, and other underserved communities to have access to vaccines and other vital services. Her nominator described her as a rock star advocate for the Latinx community. And just some of her work includes service at Tacoma Community House and volunteerism with the Commission on Immigrant and Refugee Affairs and the Political Leadership Council with Sage Leaders. Please join me in expressing gratitude for Diana for her advocacy to make Tacoma a welcoming city.
Hola, mi nombre es Diana Parra y hoy le quiero dar las gracias a la Universidad de Washington en Tacoma por el reconocimiento a la labor de los líderes sociales latinos en el área. Yo llegué a la tierra de los Puyallup como inmigrante desde la ciudad de Medellín, Colombia, hace 10 años. Vine buscando oportunidades de crecimiento personal y económica y lo que me encontré fue una comunidad maravillosa que me ha acogido inmensamente. Mi aventura personal comenzó cuando decidí estudiar negocios internacionales en la universidad porque sentía una inmensa curiosidad por las otras culturas y por el ser humano. En realidad no tuve afinidad con los negocios, así que dejé ese camino y me convertí en algún momento en intercesora de víctimas aquí. Pero nunca me imaginé que me iba a encontrar con gente de todo el mundo que me fuera a enseñar lo que significa de verdad ser fuerte. Nosotros los inmigrantes tenemos una capacidad inmensa de adaptación y de aportar cosas hermosas a nuestras comunidades. Muchísimas gracias especialmente a todos aquellos inmigrantes indocumentados, quienes día a día luchan por escapar estigmas, dificultades, discriminación, barreras de lenguaje y muchas otras cosas con el objetivo de superarse y entregar lo mejor de sí a la sociedad. No están solos. Ustedes son muy importantes y me dan fuerza cada día para continuar la búsqueda por la justicia social y un mejor mundo para mis hijos. Al ser una inmigrante privilegiada, con papeles, manejo del idioma de inglés y estabilidad económica, he representado a la comunidad en varias juntas y comisiones y espero que me contacten con cualquier sugerencia que tengan para poder elevar su voz. Muchísimas gracias también a mi esposo Alan, a mis hijos Kieran y Evan, quienes sacrifican tiempo conmigo para que yo pueda hacer trabajo voluntario. También a mi mamá y a mi hermano por todo el apoyo desde lejos, y a LatinX Unidos of the South Sound, que son un equipo maravilloso de latinos y latinas que se han convertido como en mi familia. Muchísimas gracias y hasta luego.
Congratulations, Diana. We are so grateful for your passion and dedication to social justice in the South Sound. Our next awardee is an alum of UW Tacoma, and she just started her doctoral studies in the UW Tacoma School Psychology program. Alma Vargas is an enthusiastic scholar who is dedicated to social justice. She has spent years investing in local communities with a focus on immigrants' rights and equitable access to education for Latinx students. Through her work with Proyecto Mole, the Colectiva Legal del Pueblo, Advocates for Immigrants in Detention Northwest, and others, she has been generous with her time and talents, positively impacting access and justice through direct service to students and by advising educators, administrators, and others. Please join me in cheering for Alma and learning more about her story.
Gracias to everyone involved in the creation of Celebrando Comunidad, LatinX Awards and Celebration, to the University of Washington, Tacoma, and to the individual who submitted my nomination. There are many of us doing great things in our comunidad, and I would like to congratulate those who are being celebrated tonight. Felicidades a todos. My nomination stems not from the desire of being recognized, but from the joy of serving. My passion is to support students and families navigate the public school system and access higher education. Without knowing, I started doing that since elementary when I first arrived to the United States. I remember my first day attending Fernhill Elementary. When I first entered the building, I was shocked. My classroom was on the 3rd floor, and when I was going up the stairs, I kept thinking to myself, in Spanish, of course, I hope no one asks me questions. How will I know what they're asking me? How will I ask to go to the bathroom? Every step I took got me closer to my classroom, but it also raised my level of anxiety. My heart was racing. I could not even smile. When I got to the door, Miss Grisby was nice. I felt some relief, but I still could not understand her. All I could do at that point was smile. I survived 3rd grade, and in 1 year, I learned the basics to communicate with others. In 4th grade, we had a new student, Rafael from El Salvador. When he was standing at the door for the first time, I knew what his look meant. I knew what he was feeling. I helped him learn the basic phrases to communicate, and I continued to learn with him. As I went on to middle school, I helped other newly arrived students to feel more comfortable in school. I was only able to do so because I was once in their shoes and knew what it felt like. Just like my anxiety levels were rising on the first day of school in the United States, I felt it again last week during my first class of my master's program at the University of Washington, Tacoma. Today, I have accomplished many of my educational and personal goals, and although I faced many struggles, by overcoming them, I know I am clearing the way for those coming after me. Although I understand that college is not for all, it is a great option to start exploring. There is still a lot that needs to be done so all students who want to attend college are able to. So, college leaders and educators, let's engage in brave conversations with students who are first generation, who have different immigration status, who identify as LGBTQ, who are diagnosed with any type of disability, and every student that steps foot on campus. They will let us know what they need to in order to find community, to feel welcome, and be successful on campus. I am not saying to make it easy for some. Let's make institutional changes so that it's equitable for everyone. Gracias.
Felicidades, Alma. We look forward to supporting your continued learning at UW Tacoma and calling you Dr. Vargas very soon. Our next award honors an emerging leader who has been a tireless advocate for immigrant families. Rufina Reyes. Rufina Reyes has worked with La Resistencia, a multiracial, multi-status, multi-gender group that organizes across the prison barrier. La Resistencia is advocating to shut down the Northwest Detention Center and to end all detention and deportation in Washington state. Rufina's work to end the suffering of detention and the separation of immigrant families has led her to participating in protests, meeting with legislators on House Bill 1090, and sharing her story through countless meetings both in person and virtually. Please join me in cheering for Rufina as we learn more about her story.
Gracias a la Universidad de Washington, Tacoma, por este premio. Me siento honrada de recibirlo y agradezco este estimado reconocimiento, no solo por nuestro trabajo, sino también por la celebración de nuestra comunidad latina. Gracias. Mi hermano de 57 años, José, fue secuestrado por un cartel mexicano. Mi familia estaba aterrada. Fue liberado 4 semanas después y sufre de un trauma psicológico. Mi madre le dijo, José, ve a Seattle y quédate con tu hermana Rufina por un tiempo. Él viajó a Seattle, pero no llegó con nosotros. Nos enteramos de que José fue detenido por su falta de inglés. Nos enteramos de que estaba en el centro de detención en Tacoma. Estábamos sorprendidos de que esto haya sucedido. Es como si José estuviera siendo secuestrado nuevamente, pero esta vez por el gobierno de los Estados Unidos. Fui a visitarlo. José estaba deprimido y asustado. ¿Por qué me pasa esto de nuevo? No pude responderle, pero tenía que sacarlo de este horrible lugar. Al salir del centro de detención, Veo que hay una protesta, bocinas, carteles de protesta, parientes de los detenidos que gritaban para liberar a los internos. Una mujer latina se me acercó. Hola, soy Maru Mora Villalpando. ¿Le puedo ayudar en algo? Le conté mi historia, me dijo, entiendo, usted no está sola, estamos aquí para apoyarla. Desde entonces me uní a la resistencia, porque hay muchas personas que necesitan apoyo. Es importante luchar por la libertad de todos. Me uní a sus reuniones de Zoom y les contamos lo que realmente está sucediendo adentro. Les contamos que en ese momento no había 300 personas en el centro de detención, eran más de 1000. La comida es mala, las personas están enfermas, como mi hermano diabético. Se les niegan los medicamentos y están en peligro de contagio de COVID. Estas personas no son la necesidad de enviar dinero para mejorar su alimentación en la comisaría de detención. Nuestra misión es humanitaria. Nuestra misión es liberar a estas personas, ayudar a estas familias a recuperarse del trauma psicológico y cerrar este centro de detención y cualquier otro. Tacoma afirma que es una ciudad acogedora y aunque han dado buenos pasos en apoyar, nuestra casa solo será cuando el centro de detención cierre permanentemente. Estamos orgullosos de saber que el centro de detención cerrará. Cuando nos miras, no conoces nuestras historias. Que otros quiten la libertad y el derecho a sentirse seguros en este mundo no es justo y no debemos tolerar tales injusticias. Soy Rufina Reyes y me aseguro de que se escuchen nuestras historias para que se produzcan cambios reales y permanentes para el beneficio de toda mi comunidad. Gracias, Universidad de Washington, Tacoma, una vez más por su apoyo a nuestra comunidad LatinX. Gracias.
Rufina, we are grateful to have advocates and co-conspirators like you in our community, fighting for human rights protections for immigrants. Felicidades. The next award recognizes an organization that has demonstrated a commitment to increasing access to high quality and culturally competent healthcare for Latinx communities, promoting health and well-being. The Foundation for Multicultural Solutions, El Camino. This Latinx-run organization provides substance abuse recovery services for those in need, providing quality services that are family-oriented, culturally appropriate, and sensitive to the needs of the Latino community. Its founders, Carmen Murphy and Patricia Nigel, were described in their nomination as having strong hearts for their work. To learn more about the Foundation for Multicultural Solutions, El Camino, we encourage you to visit their website shown on your screen. Their work helps clients feel respected, understood, and safe while providing them the skills, support, knowledge, hope, and spiritual healing necessary to achieve and maintain sobriety. Please join me in celebrating the Foundation for Multicultural Solutions, El Camino. Thank you, Foundation for Multicultural Solutions, El Camino, for creating spaces of healing and health for Latinx families. Our next award and story tonight celebrates an organization for their contributions to art and cultural practices that carry deep and varied meanings to Latinx communities. The Calavera Collective is a grassroots organization, a group of friends who share their love of Hispanic cultures by promoting arts and cultural events that build bridges and of hope between Latino people and people of all backgrounds. Their annual Dia de los Muertos celebration in Tacoma's east side creates spaces of remembering and healing through sharing music, visual art, dance, and more. Stay tuned via their social media accounts shown on your screen here for more information about the event this year. The Calavera Collective creates spaces of connection across cultural traditions that promote healing and well-being, supporting a thriving city for all people. What an incredible group of artists. We are so grateful to have the Calavera Collective and the creative energy they bring to Tacoma and the South Sound. Our next award is the LatinX Business Owner Award, sponsored by Puget Sound Energy. It acknowledges a local entrepreneur who is excelling in community building, service, and catering to the community. We're pleased tonight to recognize a longstanding artist from Tacoma who embeds Latinx heritage and culture into her business, Imperio Tattoos. Carolina Santiesteban hosts community events and pop-ups and is actively giving rising artists opportunities to share their art and talents. Please join me in celebrating Carolina Santiesteban and learning more about her story.
My name is Carolina Santiesteban, and I am a tattoo artist and co-owner of Imperio Tattoos located in downtown Tacoma, Washington. I'd like to thank University of Tacoma, Washington for this award. As someone who didn't further my education into college or university, I'm humbled to receive this recognition from this institution. I am the daughter of hardworking immigrants that left their country to give me opportunities that they didn't have, and for that reason, the pressure of furthering my education weighed on me at an early age. But I believe everyone has a right to choose their own path and build their own imperio. Thankfully, my parents always supported my decision. At an early age, I found a passion for art and later pursued a career as a tattoo artist. Throughout the years, I built a strong relationship with my craft, and our tattoo shop, Imperio, is now a staple in our community where we celebrate our heritage with our art and hosting community events for everyone to enjoy our space. I'd like to thank my family and friends for supporting me throughout the years, and a special thanks to my business partner, George Mota, for helping me build this empire. We are very excited to continue working and giving opportunities to aspiring artists and giving our community permanent art that will last a lifetime.
Congratulations, Carolina. We can't wait to see how Imperio Tattoo grows and continues to support a vibrant, thriving community of artists and beyond. Our next awardee is a powerful force for the common good in the South Sound. We are so pleased to honor Liesl Sankheil with the LatinX Education Award, sponsored by Giza Credit Union. This award recognizes the many, many ways that we learn and share knowledge with each other, which often happens outside of classroom settings. Liesl has positively impacted so many Latinos in the South Sound, from breast cancer awareness education, to helping youth explore nursing careers, to helping family members learn how to advocate within K-12 schools and at school board meetings, to testifying to Washington state legislators in support of passing legislation that makes accessing funding for college easier for low-income youth. She was the driving force behind the City of Tacoma Latino Town Halls and is a founding member and tireless advocate for Latinx Unidos of the South Sound, LUS, who is hosting this year its 5th annual festival, LatinX, this coming Saturday, November 13th at the Tacoma Armory. Please join me in congratulating Liesl and learning more about her story.
Thank you for this incredible honor that UW-Tacoma has given to me. I am humbled and grateful and very appreciative of your regard for the work and community development that is so important to me, and I am proud to be Latina, an immigrant, born in Venezuela, but of mixed heritage and background. What is privilege? I am sure we are all aware that the lighter our skin, the more privilege we have in our society, and my Latinx community comes in all shades. In addition to color, we are challenged by documentation status, language access, earning power, ability to get a college degree, full citizenship, and many of us live in fear on a daily basis. I'm 12 years old. I'm living in white rural Wisconsin. I'm standing in the middle school bathroom, and there's a small girl next to me. Her name is Delia. She is standing in front of the mirror, pulling her long, dark hair into combs on either side. Two tall white girls, both older than us, walk in and immediately pick on Delia. You don't belong here. Go home. Get out of here. One violently grabs her combs out of her hair and throws them to the floor. My fight or flight reflexes kick in. I step in between them like a warrior. I feel bigger than my 4 feet 9 inches. You don't have the right to say that to her. I know Delia. Now go. Surprisingly, they run out like scared hyenas. Delia is crying. Why are they so mean to me? I hug her. No lo sé, pero somos Latinas y somos igual. I don't know, but I understand. You belong here. I'm Latina too. I am aware for the first time that I have my own white passing privilege. I still have to be that bathroom warrior, an interpreter, someone who connects and is a bridge. I am a bathroom warrior in my work, in my spare time, in my life. As a program manager with College Success Foundation, I am in our public schools daily, and I know that the higher level of education you acquire, the larger your lifetime earnings will be, and the healthier you and your family will be. But the field is not level, and we need to work hard to ensure it is. In 2015, we started Latino town halls, and we learned a lot from hundreds of Latinos. These conversations created a new relationship with the city of Tacoma. We are becoming a welcoming city, but we have a lot of work to do. To you who are Latinx and listening, step into leadership. We need you. Step up, fight for injustice, voice the future you want for our community. Sí se puede. To those in government, leadership, philanthropy, and education, don't just listen, act. Go out of your comfort zone to fund and hire leaders. They're everywhere in unexpected places. Fund organizations that are really doing the work. If you have questions of who that is, call me. To those of you who have privilege and you know who you are, really uplift our community. Don't overlook us. Hire Latinx. Mentor the youth who are our future leaders. Let's all be bathroom warriors. Muchas gracias. A mis amigas y familia, estoy muy agradecida.
Congratulations, Liesl. Thank you for inspiring the inspiring call to action for everyone to step into greater roles of leadership to ensure people are welcomed and can thrive in Tacoma and the South Sound. Thank you all for joining us and celebrating the powerful stories and positive contributions of Latinx community members in the South Sound. This program has been a source of joy, inspiration, hope, and pride for the Planning Committee, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. As a reminder, we invite you to share your feedback and thoughts with us about tonight's program. To do so, please scan the QR code on your screen. You'll be able to pause this on the video later, or follow the link on the screen listed at the bottom, tinyurl.com/2021 Celebrando, and submit your responses before Tuesday, October 12th. And that way you'll be entered into a raffle for a $50 gift card. Again, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors for making tonight's event possible, and especially acknowledge our leadership sponsors, Giza Credit Union and the City of Tacoma, and our pride sponsor, Puget Sound Energy. We'd also like to thank the UW-Tacoma Office of Community Partnerships for agreeing to be the home for the Celebrando Comunidad program and tradition. Their generosity of time and talent helped nurture this idea from a dream to a reality. Let's give one last round of appreciation to our awardees. Your endless dedication to the common good is inspiring, and we thank you for coming with us on this journey in the first year and for trusting us to share your stories. We are also grateful to everyone who nominated Latinx community members to be recognized. There were so many moving stories that were shared, and the award selection committee had the hard task of selecting awardees. We're hoping that this will be an annual tradition, so be on the lookout for an invitation to nominate your fellow community leaders from the Latinx community next year. And finally, we'd like to thank you, members of our beautiful communities who joined us online to celebrate the vibrancy and joy that Latinx individuals and groups bring to the South Sound region. If you enjoyed tonight's program, please share it with your friends and family. Tonight's program will continue to be available on the website, tacoma.uw.edu/celebrando. Before you go, a reminder of some of the upcoming events I mentioned during our program. I look forward to seeing you at them. First, we have Calavera Collective's Dia de los Muertos celebration, which will be virtual Friday, October 29th, and the following day, Saturday the 30th, in person at the Eastside Community Center. And a couple of weeks later, on Saturday, November 13th, at Luce's 5th Latinx Festival at the Tacoma Armory. On behalf of the organizing committee, I wish you all good health and happiness and hope to see you in person at next year's celebration.